What I'd like to talk about this morning is how sometimes the spiritual path itself can be an obstacle to actually attaining the spiritual realization. And I've noticed this to be particularly true in some of the so-called ascended master teachings, where we decree for peace and harmony in various parts of the world, but sometimes don't have peace and harmony in our own hearts. It's always easier to work on something external, to call for peace in Iraq or to extinguish a forest fire someplace, but do we have peace within ourselves? And have we put out the fire within ourselves that's consuming us? And I'm sure everyone has had the experience of being a part of a spiritual organization or attending a spiritual meeting where there are very high sounding things taking place, but people are still having a lot of judgments. I remember when I was a kid going to church and the minister was talking about forgiveness and non judgmentalness, but I heard the lady next to me talking about what an ugly hat a lady was wearing up front. Or I've attended Buddhist meetings where if you did something wrong in the ceremony, people would be very angry at you. If you stepped over one of the texts, that was considered a defilement, that you had to raise the text up over your head to purify it or offer it to the Buddha because you had somehow defiled this booklet, this inanimate object, but it was from having broken a certain rule. Or in the Native American teachings, I saw a woman judged because she stepped over a drum during her moon cycle, and somehow this had defiled the drum, which then had to be burned or purified in some way. These are all man made laws which have nothing to do with true spirituality. So there's an expression, it's called taking life as the path, that goes beyond all of these rules. So in this path, you accept everything that's happening as you're teaching. The people in your life are your gurus. So you accept that nothing is happening by accident, that everything that is happening is there for a reason. And this is a very, very rich path, and it's not for the faint of heart. The interesting thing is we get the experiences anyway, but whether you can use them or not is up to you. You may have a pile of manure sitting in the corner of your lot, but it doesn't do any good unless you put it on the field and work it into the soil. So we all have plenty of manure in our lives, but whether we realize the value of it or not is up to us. Again, this comes back to the ability to observe yourself, and not just observe yourself in meditation, but to observe yourself in relationship to others, to observe yourself in relationship to life. And the ability to do this comes through the practice of Vipassana. Now, even if you don't do this formally, this observation of the breath, you can do it informally in your daily life. So I mentioned this previously in a previous webinar, that when you're interacting with someone, if you just observe your in-breath and your out-breath, and you also observe the other person, you have your eyes open, and you simultaneously observe the sun over your head. That is not the physical sun, that is the sun of your own I am presence. and you're aware of that sun, and you're aware that the other person has the sun over their head also, and that you are both being sustained by that, and that person has come into your life according to some higher plan. It is not by accident you met them at that particular moment. So you can say, I am being shown the purpose of this meeting. I am bringing about the perfect divine plan for this interaction. Reveal to me what that is, and you might not get anything at the moment, but as time goes by, you will see what that is. And there may be some things that happened to you far in the past that you did not understand at the time, but you can go back over those incidents now and derive tremendous benefit from them. And this is why Jesus said to love your enemies. In fact, he said, you will love your enemies even more than your friends, because your enemies give you something that helps you to grow and become a better person. An enemy does not have to mean a mortal enemy. It can be somebody simply who aggravates you. But you will get far more from those people on the spiritual path than the people that tell you you're wonderful, you're flawless, we love you no matter what, and so on. I mean, it's important to have those people in your life too for support. But the people that really help you grow and who are your real gurus are your enemies or the people who aggravate you. So it's important to be able to use those people for your spiritual growth. And just remind yourself to breathe into it. They say breathe into the pain. In fact, that may be something I think they tell women in childbirth. Don't fight it, breathe into it. And if you can surrender to it, then you have eliminated the resistance. It's the resistance that causes the pain. And where does that resistance come from? It comes from the ego. So this is who I am, or this is who I think I am, and you are challenging my concept of myself. I think I have my act pretty much together, and you're implying that I don't. When we feel our self-image threatened, we tend to become defensive or even go on the offensive. Well, you think I'm not who I think I am. Well, you're not so hot either. Then the next thing you know, we have an argument and we leave that encounter feeling angry or bitter or some kind of emotional wound. If we could just all accept that people are going to come into our lives who aggravate us, and that's actually a sign of our spiritual growth, that the masters would not let that person be in my life if it were not for my good. Then we can use that encounter, use that experience for our growth. And in the spiritual world, we are not actually all separate beings anyway. We are all rays from the great central sun. So every being you encounter is actually embodied and empowered with the light of your own heart. That source that is in a higher dimension is the power that animates every living thing. So when you're aware of that, then you start to have a little compassion, and then that enables you to put yourself perhaps in the other person's situation, that they came to be who they are in their life because of all the various experiences they have had. But inside their heart is the very same light that is in your heart, and that light is good. You can say, I am good. I am a good person, and that other person also is good. They may have been very wounded, and they may be doing awful things, but the same light is within them, and I seek to awaken that light. And the way you can awaken that light is just by knowing that it's there, holding that vision of that light within the other person. And that is really the greatest gift you can give to another person, is to just try to see them in their perfection. And that, I believe, is what mothers do. I know I did that as a father, just to see the perfection of my daughter, that even if she does something wrong, even if she gets caught with her hand in the cookie jar, I still love her and she is still a good person. So, in a sense, we all get caught with our hand in the cookie jar at various times. And we want to still be loved, even though we might have done something wrong. You can always just accept that people have their own reasons for doing what they do because they think that is the path to love and acceptance. Everybody wants love and to feel loved, even if that love comes from one's fellow soldiers. In fact, that is why many men re-enlist to go back to fight in foreign wars, is because they never felt such love and acceptance anywhere in their civilian lives. But when they're in the military, they have that feeling of love and acceptance from their fellow soldiers. That implicit trust that no matter what happens to you, your comrade will be there to protect and defend you. It would be nice if we could have that same companionship and commitment and camaraderie in our civilian lives. If we can all try to see that light and feel that loyalty to that light within everyone in every situation, then we can help to establish that camaraderie and that love and that kingdom of heaven on earth, where we realize we are all in this together and that we are all interdependent on each other, that every thought that we think, every feeling that we have, and every emotion affects everyone else on the planet. We are all affecting each other simultaneously. Literally, the butterfly flapping its wings in Tokyo affects the stock market in New York. And that is why, as beings of light who know this great law, we can affect the entire earth. We can help bring peace in the Middle East. We can help bring peace everywhere, but that peace has to first be within us. You do not fight for peace. If you are fighting, it is not creating peace. You may need to stand up for who you are, or you may need to take action, but if you really want peace, that peace has to begin within you. If you want to be loved, you have to give love. If you want to receive generosity, you have to give generosity. If you want to be healed, you have to give healing. If you want mercy, you have to give mercy to others. In this great kingdom of light, we are all affecting each other at every moment simultaneously. So let us turn our attention inward and feel that great light in the center of our being. Feel the light in the area of your heart and know that that light comes from the great central sun. The center of your being is an emanation of and part of the great central sun, which comes first to your I am presence. that great ball of light above you, surrounded by the rainbow colors, which is the accumulated goodness and wisdom of all your past lives. And that I am presence above you is sending a ray of light down through the top of your head into the center of your being, in the center of your chest. And that flame is anchored there. And you feel that flame when you feel joy, when you feel happiness. There's the expression, my heart leapt with joy. When your heart leaps with joy, that is the flame of your I am presence within you that is responding to some stimulus. Or there's the expression, my heart wavered. That is the feeling of the flame wavering when you're not sure what to do. But if you put your attention on that flame and stay in contact with it all the time, you will always know what to do. Maybe not in advance, but you will know what to do when the time comes to act. So the more you put your attention on that light within you, on that feeling of your own God presence, which is your true self, the stronger that gets, the stronger the connection with God, and the more you actually become a God being. God, I love you. I want to be one with you. Come into my life and come into my heart. Surround and protect me, guide me and direct me, and fill me with love and joy at every moment. Fill me with your wisdom and guidance. May I be a master presence on the earth, helping to bring these same qualities of healing and love and compassion to all whom I meet. I am the presence of the living God. I am the Son of God. I am God the Mother. All beings on earth are my children. I am the loving Father, Mother, God, establishing peace, harmony, and love on earth. I am revealing to me the lesson to be learned from every encounter with another being. I am learning the lessons to be learned from life on earth. I am transcending and cutting through all mundane, human, limited concepts and seeing the truth of all situations. I am the commanding, governing presence of God going before me throughout this week, commanding the perfect divine plan in all activity. I am the presence of God, sending the rays of light from my heart out to humanity. I am wholly pure and perfect. I am good. I am a good person. And you can say to yourself, I love you, and put whatever your name is at the end of that statement. So I'm saying, I am a good person. I love you, Peter. And feel that love. That is the love of the Divine Mother for her child. You are the child of God. I now joyfully accept every experience in my life as a means of spiritual awakening and growth. I am the violet consuming flame, dissolving and consuming everything less than perfection and raising me into my perfect state. Feel that sun within your heart. Your body is translucent like a crystal, and that sun is radiating out through you, illuminating your entire body and illuminating the room in which you're sitting. And that light is shining out through your room, through the house in which you're located, into the town. It's just like the sun came down out of the sky and is now above your house, illuminating the entire area. But you bring that sun down into your heart and see your heart as one with the heart of the earth. There is a great sun in the center of the earth, and your heart and that sun are one. And that sunlight is streaming out into the universe. You are the sun of this earth, streaming rays of light into space. Sending your love forth to all creation. And it is that love that created the universe, that created all universes. And it is into that love which the universe will eventually dissolve. I am that love. I am the love that gave birth to creation. I am the love that is sustaining creation. Nothing lives or grows without my will. I am the source, the sustenance, and the end of creation. All universes exist within me. I am the consciousness, activity, and dominion of the living God. Let us sit in this God awareness for a couple of minutes. If your mind wanders, observe your breath, the in-breath and the out-breath, the rise and fall of your chest. If a thought arises, label it thinking, come back to the breath. And in that stillness, in that silence, in that peace, you feel the sun in your heart, the sun that is the source of creation. This light within you is the same light that is in the heart of the ascended masters. That is how they know your thoughts and feelings, and they can respond instantaneously. That light is your internet service provider, and it's on all the time. Whenever you turn your attention inward, you are online. You're, in a sense, having FaceTime with the ascended masters. First, with your own I am presence that is aware of your every thought and feeling, and then through that great web of light to the ascended masters and to every other person on earth. Through that connection, you can call on your I am presence first, and secondarily on an ascended master by whatever name you choose. Even God, please help me. And that presence will come forth in whatever the appropriate way is. It may guide you to another person, to a book, to a website, or to take some kind of action. But if you say, God, please help me, you will be heard. You can call on Jesus, Saint Germain, Mother Mary, Nada, whatever master you feel closest to. You can say, take command of my life and world. Come forth and establish the divine plan. Thy will, not my human will, be done. Clear all obstacles from my path and create in me the feeling to do what I am meant to do. I am doing what I am meant to do in perfect divine order. And you will feel that as a sensation in your heart. When you are doing what you are meant to do, it feels right. It feels good. When you are going the wrong way, the energy disappears, or it feels bad. You have to get rid of all preconceived ideas about what others tell you is right and wrong, what you should do, what you shouldn't do, and leave it up to God. Oftentimes, the best way to grow, as one teacher said, is to apprentice yourself to someone who is a petty tyrant or who irritates you. But you cannot leave that association until you have worked out whatever the lesson is within you. That doesn't mean you have to work it out with that person, but you have to work it out with that person within you. So that person no longer has power over you. And we all have those people in our lives, those people who want to tell us what to do, or who try to organize our lives for us, or who think they know better than we do what we should be doing in our lives, or people who may be malicious or hurtful. When you can get beyond that hurt so that nothing that they do hurts you again, you can look at them and know they are simply acting out of their own hurt, out of their own wounds. Then you can get on with your life and not be affected by that. As Jesus said, "Forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do." We all have our own crosses to bear. We all experience crucifixion in our lives in one way or another. Again, Jesus said, "Take up thy cross daily and follow me." When you awaken in the morning, you pick up your cross. But the choice is with you whether to follow the Christ path of forgiveness, love, and compassion, or to take offense and try to get even with others, or to try to cause hurt to others that hurt you. If you actually look at the life of the person who is causing the suffering, you will see that they are doing what they're doing for a reason, something that makes sense to them, and that they're frequently unaware of how they are affecting others. But what they need, what will help them get over that, is your love and compassion and understanding going out to them. If Jesus could forgive those who crucified him, we can try to forgive others who hurt us. And that forgiveness comes through understanding. So try to focus on another person, in a sense, put yourself in their shoes and understand what they're thinking and feeling and how they came to be who they are. Then you start to feel the forgiveness. The forgiveness comes through understanding. You can't just decree forgiveness. It's noble to do that. Like the violet flame is called the fire of forgiveness. You can call for that violet fire to come forth in a situation, but for you to actually feel that forgiveness, that comes from understanding. As King Solomon said, "Get wisdom, but with all your wisdom also get understanding." I am understanding why things are the way they are and why people are the way they are. And I am moving into a state of unconditional forgiveness. Dear God, help me to understand all situations and to use them for my good. God uses all things for good. Every situation is an opportunity to learn and grow and feel more love. These are very interesting times in which we're living. At every moment, there is the opportunity to send out light. You can change the world just by sitting down and thinking, "God bless that situation." Just when you think you have it all together, somebody's going to push a button. Could be a noisy neighbor, something like that. And your tendency is to react. But if you can try to understand the situation and put yourself in the other person's shoes, then you come to a understanding and a feeling of compassion. My love goes with you. We are all one in the light. Many blessings.